Cardon Children's Medical Center, providing comprehensive pediatric care for Arizona's families.
What I want to ask you about, Tracey, is what are some of the common issues that you see at these car seat safety events?
They use the lower anchor and tether system incorrectly, or they use it with a seatbelt, and you can only use a seatbelt and a tether or lower anchor and a tether. The lower anchors are part of a 3-point system, so they'll have a lower anchor down here, and then they'll have a top tether point that will be back, usually behind the seat somewhere. And once they're forward facing, you use that. Car seat comes with its own seatbelt, and you just take it and you latch it on both sides and you pull it tight, just like you'd pull a seatbelt tight. So you just take it, push it up, click it in, and it's clipped on the bar. You can feel it as you pull it. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you smush the cush out of your vehicle seat. So notice I'm pushing down on the seat as I'm pulling the direction that the belt should be pulled. And then I test at the belt path. I move back and forth, front and back, and there should be no more than 1 inch of movement at the belt path. This part of the seat should move. That's not where it's anchored down. It's anchored right here at the belt path.
What are some mistakes that people make when they actually put the child in the seat?
When we look at kids in the harness, what we want to see is the harness needs to be tight. Right at her shoulders, take it and try to pinch. See how my fingers are just sliding off? That means they're tight enough. This harness retainer clip, what this does is it keeps the harness in place prior to a crash. So all we want to do is slide that a little bit further up, and it should always be right at armpit level. And that's going to really help with our tightness just a little bit too. These kind of accessories like mirrors are not good. This could come off in a crash and actually go into your child. They're not crash tested. All right, when we put the baby in, we look for a 45-degree angle, and we make sure that they're at the right angle so that they can maintain their airway. We always make that the handle is back so it's not over the child, and we always recommend to parents that they don't add toys onto the handle that could potentially hurt the child.
I learned a ton actually. I didn't know about the harness having to be up by her armpits, and I didn't know about the toys. I thought it was harmless to just put a toy there and not really think about the implications in an accident. So
What about some of the special problems that people with older cars might have?
Yeah, if we have a car that's older than September 1996, those cars may not have a way to lock down their child restraint. She was actually using the strap, the seatbelt that came with it that goes with the lower anchors. She had it so it secured the seat, and she did a great job. It secured it safe, but it's not crash tested that way. So this clip right here is called a belt shortening clip. There's a clip that comes with the seat called a locking clip. You cannot use that. It's not sturdy enough. This is much thicker, and it's called a belt shortening clip. You could only get it from the automobile manufacturers, and it truly shortened the belt. When they're in a booster seat, you always want to look to make sure that their head is properly protected, just like you and I. So if the middle part of their ear is to the top of the plastic, then their head's getting too tall for that booster seat. And so they might just need a different booster seat, or maybe it's time for them to graduate into a seat belt if they're truly at that 4'9". With a booster seat, it makes the lap and the shoulder belt, it makes the lap and the shoulder belt fit her perfect. It goes over the top of her thighs, and the shoulder belt fits her right on the shoulder. The height forward facing is the middle of their ears, gets to the tip of the seat, then they're too tall because we need to protect their head. And you have her in a booster seat, and that's really good. So how did you learn about booster seats, and why did you think she needed one?
She really got too big for the regular car seat that she was in, and we just felt it was time for her to, step up to the next level, and we picked that one, and she fit perfect in it.
if you could just say 3 things to every parent in Arizona, what would you tell them about car seat safety?
Car seat safety, you have to read the owner's manual to your car. You have to read your instruction booklet, and I highly, highly recommend that you take a car seat class. They're offered throughout the valley. It's very important for parents to take a car seat class. We need to remember that the #1 killer of our children is motor vehicle crashes. So you have to know how to install your child restraint. We educate you so that you as parents are able to put your child restraint in your vehicle correctly every single time your child rides in it.